Good morning, everybody. So, let me present my screen. I have already been introduced what I did and what kind of work I do. So, I'm professionally, I work in a software company. I work as a VP and delivery head, and it has been almost 4 year now. I started looking into the industry and I looked at previous work that people did in past. So there were a lot of assumptions, and then I thought, why not? I should look into it, and I should think about different ways uh, because in today's scenario, what I feel is, for example, a lot of people use WhatsApp, and we have influence of British and Mughals in this country. So the language that today we speak has influence from Persia, Afghanistan, Britain. So when I say this, it means like when I use WhatsApp, sometimes Hindi is my language, but Hindi I type in English also, right? And there are a lot of words; those are Arabic words, but we still use them in Hindi language, and we even don't realize that we are using a different language word in Hindi. So these are the things that actually provoked me to look at Indus script that way. I assume that there would be the parallel civilization with whom these Indus people would be interacting, and either some of the symbols they would have borrowed from other parallel civilization, or some other civilization would have borrowed some of the symbol from Indus. So this was whole thought process in my mind to think further. And one or two things I have right now to share with you, and probably that would definitely surprise you. And I assume that a lot of people don't see about the symbols or script we are using and what kind of history those symbol has. Even if I say in Devanagari script, in Hindi script, we have few symbols. Those are being written from past 4,000 years. Would you believe that? Anybody will not believe that, because Devanagari is considered as a very recent language, maybe 1000 or 1200 or 1300 or 1400 year old, not more than that. Let me give you example. Let me go back to my one. Actually, I had to share my screen, so I used one of the image editing tool to just showcase one special character. Do you see my screen now? I have a different tool in which I have written Devanagari character Ma. If I say that this Ma is being written from past 4,000 years, uh, I don't think anybody is going to believe that. But what I will do, I'll just change it little bit, and then you will realize what we are writing, and we even don't know what it is. Let me go to this one. I just changed this character angle to 45 degree, and now what you see, it's a fish shine. It is fish, right? So if you realize that this is actually fish we are writing as a Ma symbol, I don't think a lot of people would have realized that. Yeah, now you see during Elamite civilization around 3000 BC, they were using fish sign, and this fish sign pronunciation was Ma itself at that time. And even in Hammurabi code of law and in cuneiform, you can see there is a fish symbol that is written in a different way, but it clearly shows that it's a fish. And this is deciphered, already deciphered, that this symbol has pronounced value as ma. Now I go to the Indus civilization. At the same time, in Indus seal, we also have the fish sign. And now in current time, you see in Devanagari, we have a ma symbol, and that is actually a fish sign. So this actually motivated me to just gather the information from all the nearby civilization and see the symbols what they have. Probably in Elamite and in cuneiform or in Mesopotamia, they would have been using different language, but the script pronunciation would have been same. Maybe using ma sign, they would be writing some word in their own language, but it looks that the same voice value has been used in Indus and as we are using today, and the voice value is ma, and we are using that value to make our Devanagari or Sanskrit words. Same as there are other findings also. Let me show you. In Indus, we have a very common jar sign that you would have seen a lot of in a lot of symbols. You would have seen jar sign either at the end or at the start. So I just try to see if there is any script which has this kind of similar symbol anywhere during that time. And then I realized in Proto-Elamite they were using a bread piece sign. So the first one where you see Proto-Elamite, it's actually the bread, the piece of bread, and they used to pronunciate is ni. And then this symbol changed little bit during the time, and then Middle Elamite, and then cuneiform. It came like the third one. You see, it looks like almost same that we have in Indus script. So the pronunciation there was ni, and I use the same voice value in Indus seal decipherment as ni and na. There is another symbol that we still use today. Probably we would have never realized that. Around 4500 BC, they were using barley sign. The barley sign was actually pronounced as sha, and then around 2400 BC, the sign changed little bit in the cuneiform, and the voice value was always sha. And around 300 they had a symbol which has three arrow kind of, and they use to pronounce it sha. You can see this is also in Elamite cuneiform. This symbol is pronounced as sha, and I see the same symbol exists in Indus civilization seals. So what I did is I just thought again, and I thought, let me go back or come back to the current one, and then see which script has this kind of symbol. Then suddenly I saw that in Devanagari also we have sha, and if I change the angle of uh, the arrows to little bit, it becomes the same as sha that you can see in my screen. So it looks me there are a lot of symbols that we are still writing today are borrowed from past, and there has been little bit change here and there, and the pronunciation was always same. Let me go to another one. So these are the some symbols that I found in Elamite in cuneiform. Those are almost same as used in Indus. For example, in Elamite and in cuneiform, the first sign is Ud. It's actually the it's actually represent to the rising sun behind the mountain. So it's actually Uday. In even in today's language, when sun rises, we say Uday, and they were also using this symbol as Ud pronunciation value. So whenever they were writing their own language, they used Ud to just represent this symbol. And in Indus, it was same, but it was not horizontal; it was vertical. And if you see Ra, the same symbol in cuneiform that looks like the same symbol in Indus, same as Ti or Ta, same as Shah. And the left side that you see, these are all deciphered ones. So there is no assumption. This already proved that this symbol has this voice value. Same as Kal, Pa, Ka, Kur, Shu, So these are already deciphered one. So what I did is I just tried to use same pronunciation in the Indus script to just map what outcome I get when I put the same voice in the Indus seals. These are then when I realize one or two very similar character, then I again saw that let me look at some other symbols also. Probably those are the symbol we are still writing and we are not aware of. So if you see, there are few Indus sign at left column, and there are some Devanagari sign that we have at the left. I don't know how it is, but this is something that I realize that it looks like same, but I don't have any proof of it because these two things are very different, and the era was different. Maybe today I don't have any clue how it happened, but maybe in future somebody just take something from the history or from some exhibition, something comes out and we get something. But right now I'm not having any proof, but this is my understanding that we are using some of the word those were already there earlier and it were just borrowed. I don't know how it happened, but this is my understanding. For example, ma, and there is another symbol that look like ma, a fish sign, but they have two arrow opposite to the fins of the fish sign. You can see my mouse there, and in Devanagari also we have bha. So usually in Devanagari, if you see, we write bha like this, and if I change angle to 45, it look like this. So it's a fish sign, but there are two fins opposite to each other at both sides. And same you can see here in one of the in the one of the symbol of Indus sign. They have the fish sign, and it has two fins opposite to each other. So I assume that this is the bha that is borrowed from this symbol. So probably the pronunciation would be the same in Indus as well as the bha that we use. And pa and dha, if you see dha, it's actually bow. They represent to bow, and even today we write dha as a bow symbol. And there is a lizard sign in Indus. It's a lizard sign, and if you compare that sign with the pra, it looks like same. The minor angle is changed, but it looks like same, and same as the sha, and same as the ka. If you see ka, if you change it little bit, the Indus symbol, you will realize that it's actually the ka that we have in our Devanagari script. Another symbol that is very common in Indus script is a scorpion sign. So I just thought, why not? I should again go back to different script signs and then see what is the pronounced value in that. So in Elamite Isa, they were using a symbol like this that was almost like a Scorpio, and they were pronouncing it as Sha. And even in Chinese, if you see the name of Chinese President Xi Jinping, the first character is Xi, and in Chinese, if you write Xi, it just become a Scorpion sign. It's X and I, Xi. Then I thought, why not I should use this pronunciation into the Indus script signs, and then I realized that it is actually Scorpio, and in Sanskrit or in older language, the Swaru was also a type of scorpion, and the pronunciation was again Shah. So I used Shah pronunciation value from there, and then I tried to put it here. And when I was doing my research and putting these value into it, then I realized it is actually somehow representing to sun. And during that finding, I realized that all the Indus science script value is actually nothing that nothing more than that, praising to sun god. So it's all looks like they were actually praising to sun, and sun was major god for them, and they wrote a lot of thing in the script about the praise of the sun god. These are again some of the mapping that I'm not going in detail because I already discussed that. One symbol that I can talk about is, if you see there are three triangles. So they were actually using this symbol to represent to different country. It's like mountain, three mountain, and the same symbol I see in Indus script also. So I use same voice value kur into the Indus, and then again there is a arrow sign in Indus that is almost same as the cuneiform sign. It's called T. Even in arrow, we still call arrow as tir in our normal today's language. So I got that T voice value from there. Now I would just try to showcase about some of the translation that I could do. If you see, there is one seal where you see something is written, and then somebody is killing to somebody, and this is the same seal, but it's opposite side of the same seal. So when I got the voice value from different script, and from the current one and from the previous one, when I tried to map that, then I tried to get some of the translation what actually it represents to. The first one is the na sign that I already shown that earlier, in Sumerian language they were used is that na, and then it's a arrow sign P. There are two arrow sign, and there are two quotes. It's a V. That's also into the Elamite symbol, and this Ra. It's a vertical line. It's a Ra, and this symbol is very interesting symbol. It's actually represent to a music instrument that is santur, and santur is actually also called shatat yantra. So I just thought like it's actually representing to Shat. And now when I put the value into it, so majority of time what I saw is the two characters were usually used to make one word. They did not use many symbol to make a bigger word. They usually created one word using two symbol most of the time. And one more very interesting thing that I would like to highlight here, in Devanagari, probably this is the only script where we mix characters in one character. Like, for example, if I write Laksh, then I write half Cha and Ya, and I mix these two alphabet into one. And I don't think there is any other script where we have this kind of feature. But in Indus script, I see the same thing where they mixed up two, three symbol in one symbol itself. So this is the another similarity that I could see only in this science and in our current script, and I don't see it happen anywhere in any script where we mix up two character and make one character from that. So here it looks like it says Nati, Tivr, Chat. So it actually says bend someone's head and make harsh injury. So that translation itself actually represents the same thing that is being uh, done here. This is another sign that is holding sign that we see a lot of time. I thought let me try to decipher it. So what I feel is it's actually representing to name of the some place, and then it is saying that it's under protection of sun god. So from right to left, I am reading it, and you see it's a scorpion sign, the shoe, and then the wheel. Wheel sign is also very interesting sign. I try to just go back and then give you the background. It's a very interesting one. If you see the Egyptian chariot, not the new one, but the chariot, those are 3,500 or 4,000 year old chariot. Probably pictures are available on Google, and you can see physical evidence also. All the chariots, which those are 4,000 or 3,500 old chariot, their wheel has only six spoke into it. Not one spoke more and not one spoke less. Always six spokes were there in their wheel. So you can even see that while you do the Google and you see the older chariot. After that, they increased the spoke, but around 4,000 year, all the wheels has only six spoke into that wheel. And their god is also Ra, and the disk god is also called Ra. And in our today's language, we when we represent to wheel, basically we call it Rath. So from there and from here, I just tried to use the Ra pronunciation value here, and then I realized that it exactly fit in very in very good shape with this script. So it's actually the Sura Raksha Rangpur. So I'm little confused here on Rakt and Raksha. So that's the reason I have put in two meaning. But my understanding is that it actually says the sun protecting Rangpur. Rangpur looks that place where this was found. Maybe I'm not sure. I have never gone there. Maybe there may be some Rangpur here and there in that area. Even today, it would be probably there. So this is my understanding that this actually holding says that this city is under the protection of sun god. This is another good seal that I could translate. You can see there is a human line, and there is a scorpion there, and this is the same seal, but both are the opposite sign of. And the other side, there is also one person who is probably holding the head of some killing. Then I thought, let me try to decipher it. The first sign that you see at the left side, it's actually the person carrying the load. If you even we see it not even today, but if I remember 20 25 year back, we were used to see somebody is holding a bamboo rod and weight at both sides, and the carrying water or some kind of load. So it's actually the dharak who holds the weight. So the voice value is basically the initial value is like dhar, and the value that I put it here, it's a na. The first sign is na from the right, and then second is she, and then again na, and then it's a v, it's a sha and dhar. So the result that I see is it's saying that killing the poisonous carrying and basically perishing the venom bearing. So basically, it's saying that you can kill to person who is a venom bearing or the problem for your life or something like that. Here, in another seal, you can see there is a symbol at left. This symbol I have seen even in even Hindu culture. Sometimes I have seen this kind of symbol on the walls at Hindu homes also. And the right side, you see somebody is just collecting the crop. He is holding some kind of crop or something like that. And when I try to translate it, it looks like managing the heap and pile quickly. So it probably would be representing to the time where people were cutting the crop and collecting the crop. So probably that symbolized to this time. This is another one where you see there is a lion or some birds are there, and there is a person who has some drum kind of, and there is a swastik sign. It's the same seal, but it's opposite side. When I try to decipher it, it looks like it's written like Dhwani. Dha is just first symbol, and second is Va, and third is Ni or Na. So it's actually representing to the sound or roar or thunder or drum. And this is another one that has some similarity with the Egyptian mythology, where they were also using the dead people on the boat, and that was considered as last travel to the heaven. And the same kind of seal we also have in this, where you can see there is a boat and something is put in here. So when I try to translate it, it looks like it says that the end of long living soul. So maybe it's representing that somebody died and it's the last journey of that person. It's a sati end. It's a manas. Manas means the soul or human or the spirit. And Sanai is basically a long time, the old one. This is another seal where you can see there is a deity and there are two girls opposite to each other, and they have probably some kind of offering to him. And there is some there are some symbols written at the left side from bottom to top. So they were actually able to write from any side. It can be vertical, it can be left, right, it can be right to left. But now the question appears like, how do you know which writing is correct one? So in most of the symbol, you have a animal sign. So what I saw is there is a way to write for a specific symbol. There is a side. For example, if you see the bow and arrow, so bow would be the right side and arrow just goes towards the opposite side. So this is the way to also identify. And other than that, in most of the seal, they have the animal sign, and the side of animal face is the side from there that script is started, that writing is started most of the time. So it's very easy to know from where you need to read. When you see the head, there are some seals where sometimes you see head at the left side, sometimes you see the seal at the right side. But in any case, where just person need to look what is the side of the head, and from head he can start reading what exactly the script written there. So it looks like it's written like the first is Ravi, it's a Ra sign, and then there is quote, it's a V, and then one line it's a, and second after that it's a dha, and then last one is a na. So it's like Ravi Adan. So basically, it's presenting something to sun god. This is another one where you can see the swastik sign at left, and then there is a tree, and then there are three symbols like Sansi. Sansi means like bringing wealth and blessing. So probably this symbol or this seal would have been used for some kind of ritual, or it would be just showing that now crop has come to home, and this is bringing health and wealth and blessing. So probably that would be representing too. This is the symbol where you can see a person is holding two lions, and there is one very surprising element here. There are other seals also where you can see a human body is holding two heads, two lions, But when you see the human body and below the neck, you see it's all human. But when you see above the neck, it's not human face. Actually, it looks like human, but you can see rays are coming out from all side of his head. So my understanding is that it is representing to actually the sun god in human form. So all the picture of this human or any other seal, if you see the head, you will always see that flames are coming out from all around his head. So probably it's a sun that is being represented as a human. And even if you see the translation, it's a sur varan. Basically, it's a restraining to the lion. This is the same. You can clearly see the third seal where you see the face and around the face you see rays are just coming out. And even in the first seal, you can clearly see the head of this person. This is not human head. It just look like sun. So these are the highlights that I just talked about, but I tried to put in here. So the Indus is not the script that is independent script. I feel that there was a lot of influence by nearby scripts and languages, and it's a mixed of some borrowed from Indus, and Indus borrowed some symbols from there, and that way it got created. And even still in today's scenario, if I talk about, we still use some of the symbol, but we don't know that this symbol has this kind of history. So this is all my observation. I am not claiming that I am 100% correct, but this was just thought to share, and maybe it may help to somebody to just go in more detail. Probably he can come up with some new idea. That was my thought to just explore something in a different way that was not done earlier. So this is my understanding. I am not saying that I'm 100% correct, but a lot of seals that I've deciphered. I almost deciphered 200 plus seals, and in 90% seal, I see that the text that talk about is only the sun god. It's a praise of sun or something related with the rainbow or sunlightness. It's a killing to darkness or something like that. It's always there in all the seals that I deciphered. So I believe that they were majorly following to sun as a god, and there were a lot of seal which clearly shows about the or talk about the seven color of sunlight rainbow. If anybody would be interested, I can showcase that. And even I have a Twitter account. It's a Praveen Mishra 9, on which I have put in all the translation that I did of each and every seal. Anybody can go there and look at it, and he can also help me if he find anything related to that, and if he has better idea, I will share that Twitter ID to Sangam Talk, so that anybody who is interested, he can go there and see all the translation that I have done. So this is all. I already said they were probably having. So they also had a priest in their society, and probably that priest was considered as a sun priest, or just the person who has direct connection with sun god or something like that. So they had a head of their society, and he was actually the priest. And most of the time they used only two symbols to make a word. They did not make it very complicated. And there were a lot of cases where they used the animal also. So the animal voice value was used to represent to different words. For example, they use jackal symbol, and jackal is a basically representation of the sun or thunderbolt or moon in the script that my translation says. And this is something that I already mentioned, that the seal writing that you see is, if there is a head in the seal, animal head, the seal start writing from there. So this is one one seal that was found in Susha some time back, and that is actually the Indus cylinder seal. And when I tried to look at the Indus sign here, I realized that this seal actually has written the name of the major god of Susha. It's actually in Shishuna. So I taken the numbers of the character like N125, N145, 52, 125, and 178, and it is An, Shu, Shi, and Na. So it looks like this seal is actually saying about the Lord of Shusha. So maybe it may be some kind of royal seal or something like that, which had written their own god of Shusha. This is another one where you can see there is a animal and there is a person who is having bow and arrow and he is trying to kill to some animal. So the text I tried to decipher it. It's actually Sudyati. The first character at the right is Sha, Shu, and then it's a Dha. It's a Damru kind of, and it's a Ya. So basically, it represents to a human. You can see two hand and two legs. So it's a like Yuvak or Ya, and then Ti. It's a arrow sign. So it's like Sudyati. It's like killing, slay, and destroy. So probably this symbols, whatever they have shown in the symbol, they have also written same thing in the text itself. So here there is a seal which has only two symbol. One is the human carrying some load, and there is a fish sign. And in the fish sign, you have one dot. So here even today's scenario, we write ma and we write the dot like ma, the such kind of pronunciation. So here the first one is actually representing to dhar and second is ma. So actually it's a dharma. So it says that it's a religion or law or practice or something like that. So this is also a seal which actually talk about the earth. It says like earth is bowing to sun to give honor, pleasure, and respect. So it looks like most of the time they have written something that prays to sun. So here I see, you can see this is one seal where you have only two symbol. One I talked like there is a fish as well as they have two more fins opposite to each other. So it's actually represent to Bha. Even that symbol look like in our even current Devanagari script we are using. And second is Ti. So it's a Bhati. So Bhati is basically the sign or splendor. And there is another sign where you have again two. It's a Ma and Ti. So it's a Mati. It's actually the translation is worship. And here you see the person is having the yoga position, and there is some text. When I translate it, it looks like it says that everyone should praise or everyone should pray. Okay, I think that's it from my side. Any question, any thought anybody has?
It was a wonderful description of the seals, and but I have a question. There were some seals where you showed right to left, some from bottom to top,
Yes.
and some from left to right. So how does that happen? There was no fixed side from which they wrote.
Yes. They could write from any side, but they knew how to read it. For example, they have some symbol. Those symbol has fixed design. For example, there is a bow and arrow. So the bow would be right side and arrow would always be left side. If it is opposite, then they know from this side I need to read. And in most of the symbol where you have the animal, that's very clear. From the animal head side, they have written.
Okay. But the animal itself does not mean much because you read the symbols on top of animals, but the animals themselves, they don't really have a meaning.
For the script, probably don't have, but there may be relevance of the animal itself in that society. Probably that would be representing to something, but For the translation of the script, I don't think that has some relevance, but definitely the animal would have some relevance in their society. That was not actually point of concern for me, so I did not
Right.
go to
Okay.
that point.
Okay. And another thing was that now with the different researches, we come to know that this must have been pre-Mahabharat time, more or less.
Actually, I I don't think I would be able to comment on that about the era, but I only actually bothered about the
The
translation
script.
of it. I did not even go to beyond. I did not go beyond that. My
Okay.
intention
Okay.
was only to just see what is written and
And
what
how
I
you
can
can read it.
identify. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Praveen Mishra ji, namaste. Sir, my question is with respect to the NCRT content regarding the Indus Valley civilization and its script. Can you please let me know if there are any of your observations which you would like to suggest to the NCRT and the CBSE module and curriculums? Thank you.
Actually, I can definitely go beyond that, but I'm just thinking, let it be acceptable to everybody, because I have some area where I can prove like, okay, this symbol represents this value in this script, but still I don't have. If somebody says that, how do you prove that this is the exact correct one? Then I don't have answer for that. My research was only to just identify what was speaking there in the same civilization, nearby civilization, and then I use that to just try to decipher it. So it may take some times. I don't think it's a right time again to go to NCRT, but definitely there is a lot that need to be done here. It's just my thought that I shared.
Sir, actually, I was asking this because there have been a lot of false narratives and misconceptions peddled by the NCRT and CBSE curriculum. So I wanted to know your response and opinion on it. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you, but maybe it will take some more time, because whatever they have in NCRT, and it should be like proven one, and tried and tested one, and coming from the trusted, and or there should be someone or some society who approve that. So probably it will take some time.
My question is on the connections between the Indus Valley, the Saraswati, one, two, the Indus Valley and the Vedic, and the Indus script, or maybe language and script. So the keep things backward, Indus and Sanskrit, any connections you find? I mean, what your view would be if you've done some research? The Vedic civilization and the Indus, and the third is the Indus versus Saraswati, or not versus Indus and Saraswati. Any thoughts on it? After you've gone through a lot of it, you would get.
Yeah, Kumarji, actually your voice was breaking a lot, so I could not understand your question correctly. But let me try to reiterate. Probably, if something is missing, then you can tell me again.
Actually, you
Probably
cannot.
you are. I
You
got
can.
little bit, so I think Kumarji is asking in relation with the Sanskrit and Vedic and Saraswati civilization and relation with that. So to be honest, Kumarji, I did not go to that level. My intention again was to only the decipherment of the script. But what I feel is that the words or voice value that I see, a lot of words we still use, and it still exists in different language, in even in India. For example, if I talk about sur, it's a sun. So it's everywhere. It's in Tamil, it's in Sanskrit, it's in Marathi, it's in Sindhi. So you have this word everywhere in that language. If I claim that everything is Sanskrit, then probably it may not be correct. And also, I also realized that probably they knew more languages. It's not only Sanskrit. Some of the seals actually represent some word. Those are not even we use today, or it looks like they are from Sanskrit. They may be somewhere else. So what I understand from the seals is it's not only one language they were writing into. It was
And
one script, but they
al-
knew more languages.
and also there is this great debate about the horse or the lack of the horse.
If
The
you, if yeah, I saw, I got that. Even if you see the recent exhibition happened nearby Delhi, they have got the chariot nearby Meerut, and it's a 200, I think 150 kilometers away. In that, they have got chariot, and they are saying it's the same era where Indus were also in parallel to them. So probably there has been less archaeological things happened in India, and that's the reason we don't know a lot of things. Probably in future something happen and something come out from that. That would definitely give some relation. But I think chariot were there based on the recent exhibition happened nearby Delhi.
uh, also the Sanskrit part. If you could just comment on the Sanskrit part.
Most of the word that I could translate from the script, those exist in Sanskrit, but I would not 100% claim that everything is Sanskrit, because the words exist in almost same other languages also. For example, if I talk about tam is actually darkness. Tam is there in Sanskrit, tam is there in Marathi and some other language also, probably in Tamil also.
The corollaries they're drawing between the by the Vedic civilization mentions the Saraswati hundreds of to about 200 times in the Rig Veda.
Mhm.
The Saraswati is a major figure in the so the what are the I mean now that you've done some research, any thoughts on it? The Saraswati and the Indus, Sindhu, Saraswati and the Sindhu.
I honestly say that I can't comment on that, because I did not research in that area, not related with the Vedas. That's not the area that I did research on.
One thing I was not clear about is that are you using only Elamite signs to draw correspondences, or are you using signs from other Mesopotamian cultures also?
Other also. But what I see is Elamite is the closest one. I think that a lot of Elamite symbols are present in Indus, but there are few. Those are also in Elamite, in cuneiform, in Mesopotamia. Those are also there. So it's a mix of like some symbols you see in Mesopotamia, also in Elamite, and also in Indus.
Okay, but the idea of deriving sound values for a particular sign should be consistent from some other syllabary, right? If
Yes,
you
yes,
say
yes.
that I take two sounds from Elamite and three sounds from Akkadian, that
Mhm.
will not work. I mean, do I make sense?
Definitely. So the voice value is always common everywhere. For example, if I talk about ma, it's a fish
Mhm.
sign. So anywhere they use fish sign in any language, its pronunciation is ma. Even if you see today's context, you see the mother in English, you see matra in Sanskrit, you
Hmm.
see mother in Iran, in Middle East. So it looks like it's a same word, but whenever that place changes, it got changed little bit. But if you see the history, it looks like the origin was same, but as this word moved from here to there, it changed little bit. But still, a lot of words that even you can Google it, a lot of words that we have in our common today's language also exist in Middle East, also exist in Afghanistan, also exist in even Israel. I was a few days back. I was watching one web series that was based on Israel and Palestine, and it was English. It was in English, but some of the word they were using the Arabic word. And then when I heard that Arabic word, I just realized we use that word also even in Hindi. For example, khalas. We in Hindi movies you would have word khalas. Khalas is like something just ended. And takriban is like lump sum. We use takriban itna bada hoga, something like that. And that's also in Arabic use takriban. So there are a lot of words that's common from even Middle East, in Central Asia, and in even in Southeast Asia. There are a lot of words. If you see, you will see it's common everywhere.
And just to let you know, regarding Rangapur
Mhm.
that you mentioned, so the area of Gujarat that is there that shows the Indus Valley civilization,
Yeah.
that is called Rangapur culture. Okay, that is supposed to
Yeah.
be a subset of Indus Valley civilization. And
Probably, yeah.
next to Lothal, very close to Lothal,
Mhm.
there is actually a town called Rangapur.
Definitely, that's why I was
And yeah,
saying I did not go there, but definitely still be something would still be there, that name, because when you see the history, things destroyed, but probably name places be remain there most of the time.
and have you looked at other decipherments and compared them with your own, especially Dr. S.R. Rao's decipherment, which also came out to be Indo-Aryan language?
I saw some of them, and even I took help from them also, and I also looked at the Brahmi also. Brahmi also I looked. There are symbols in Brahmi also. Those are also there in Indus, and even in today's. People say that everything is derived from Brahmi, but what I feel is that probably it's not 100% correct. There may be something also that was influencing to the script that we today write.
And finally, just one word of caution. I mean, we can't say that what is there on the seals actually describes the scene on the seals. Because if we take our own official symbol of the government of India, it has 3 lines, right?
Yeah.
But what is written below that is Satyameva Jayate Nanratam, which has nothing to do with lines or hunting or anything like that, right?
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
have to be very
So
careful. There's a
I,
symbolic component
yeah,
to the
yeah.
seal.
Got it. So it the intention was, so let me try to explain. When I translated it, I did not know what is written. So it was not intention to just map what is written with what is represented. When I tried to translate it, then I realized that this translation is actually saying something that is represented same way there. So intention was not like to map the picture with the text, but actually the text translation related with got related with the picture.
Praveen ji, you just said that you took from different languages of the similar era.
Yeah.
In one of the talks with Sangam Talks, Dr. S. Kalyan Raman mentioned that for business purposes, there emerged a common language which was called Meluhan. Would you agree with that?
Unfortunately, I did not see that video, but there may be because, as I said earlier, it's not only one language they were writing into. My understanding says the script was one, but they were writing multiple language using that script.
Thank you.
My question is that I came across in NCRT that horses were brought from Central Asia or Iran, and I want to know the presence of pot rice dish, whether it was there whether it was already there in the Indus Valley civilization, or it really came from outside. Need to know your response to that. Thank you.
Uh, I only saw one seal in which I saw a heart sign, but other than that, in any of the seal, I did not get the heart sign. So probably I can't answer that if hearts was there in Indus Valley or not. But as I said, in recent exhibition that happened nearby in Delhi, even that video also there on Discovery. Manoj Bajpayee created one documentary on that. You can see that it's a Sinoli.
Secrets of Sinoli.
Yes. So even in that area, they got the chariot, and they are saying that it is same era in which the Indus existed. So I'm assuming that horse were there, but probably that proof may come later. maybe.
Sir, and what about the rice present, rice being present in the Indus Valley civilization regarding one pot rice dish? There is a narrative being created that Mughals bought biryani. So I want to know about that.
So see, dish and crop are two different things. Dish maybe may come from somebody else, because there are a lot of things that we read today, like samosa came from outside, jalebi came from outside. So the dish maybe came from outside, but crop may not be. There would be definitely some crops like tomato. I think that came from Mexico. So there are some crops that came at very later stage. Even the chili, chili, we were not using chili. We were using the black pepper for dishes, and that chili came at very later by Portuguese. So there are some crops that came at later stage, but rice, I don't think they bought rice. Rice was there, but maybe biryani they would have bought, and they would have bring us. And even why you consider it Mughal? Because Mughal are also came from Mongol. They are ancestor of Mongol, and before Mongol, the same area Afghanistan was Kushan and all the Indian rulers were there, Hindu rulers were there. So dishes actually don't come from the society that bought into. Probably that dish would already be there in past also. They were using meat and all. They would have been making some dishes earlier also. Probably Mughal would have inherited from Mongol or somebody else in Middle East, and then they would have created something new and they would have bought. So this may be the one thing that come in my mind. So dish maybe dish may came from them, or somebody got that from outside and bring into India. But crop, I believe crop would have existed earlier.
Brahmi that you mentioned,
Mhm.
Brahmi, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you've done research on this. Brahmi is the script from which many scripts evolved.
Yes.
So Brahmi versus the Indus script. What are your thoughts on the Brahmi versus? Tanya, please hold on. Don't unmute me. Don't mute
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Okay.
See, Brahmi versus Indus script. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Indus is older than Brahmi. Brahmi, the proof that we have, it's only around 200 300 BC. So it's not before that. We see Brahmi only from the Ashoka time, or from the, yeah, I think Ashoka time, not before that. I don't see that Brahmi you see before 200 or 300 BC. Before Ashoka, I don't think we have Brahmi anywhere.
So the oldest script is that. Am I right?
Yeah, like I'm sure about Brahmi, and if I talk about Brahmi and Indus signs are older, a lot older.
No, what I mean is present day, all the scripts mostly came from Brahmi. Am I right or wrong?
That's I was saying. This is actually said that everything derived from Brahmi, but I see there are some symbols. Those are not directly from Brahmi. Those also existed in Indus. So that's I'm saying I'm not 100% convinced that everything came from Brahmi. There is some relation somewhere, some kind of link related with Indus and today's script also, because there are many symbols that I see has relation with Indus symbols. I'm not sure how to map it, because there is a big gap of time. Maybe in future somebody can come up with something, but I still believe it's not 100% Brahmi that gave a script to today's script.
So the mapping between the Vedic timing and the Indus timing. Any thoughts on that?
Unfortunately, I am not the right person to comment on that, because I did not
Any
research
thoughts?
on that.
No. You, after having done so much research, you will have some thoughts on it.
So, see, Vedic time, it's actually a very long time, but Indus time, I believe it's like 4,000 year, 5,000, something like that, that is started. But maybe Vedic would be more older than this one. But I have no way to just map Vedic with this. There would definitely be some relation, but right now I don't have anything that I can say with the proof.
Because the Western Indologists would prefer to call the Vedic elements and Sanskrit as Proto-Indo-European (PIE) and not anything specific. It's a larger thing spread out from Europe to India. So their aim is to say it is a conglomerate of various things, whereas the Indus is specific to that area, this particular area that you're talking about.
I don't think something came from Europe. I can say it's a Indian subcontinent. In current time, Iran, Iraq, Mesopotamia, Elamite, and all. These are the area from where everything started, and it went into the Europe also, and everywhere. That the area that starts from Indus till the Mesopotamia and even current date Syria and all. So this is the stripe that I believe everything started from here in terms of writing and speaking and communication. And from here, it may be Indus, it may be Elamite, it may be the Mesopotamian. From where everything goes to Europe. I don't think something came from Europe to here at the start or beginning.
And the Vedic gods, are there any depictions in the seal which correspond?
Unfortunately, I did not see any seal that shows the god that the symbol of God that we see today. I haven't got any. Only thing is that that I have seen that one person.
Mr. Praveen, I'm talking about the Vedic gods, not the Puranic god.
Okay.
The Vedic gods, not the Puranic gods. What we have now are the Puranic gods.
So the two things I got, one is the animal, and one is the sun. That I see there in the seals. Beyond that, I don't see anything.
Because symbolism, you can connect up the symbolism of both the civilizations, if there is.
Yeah, sun I am 100% sure because I have shown the sun representation is there in the Indus seal. There are a lot of seal in which sun is shown as a human and his head is shown as a human head, but around that head all the flames are going out. So I am sure about they represented sun in the seal.
Okay, thank you. Manish.
The point is that the corpus of Indus seals itself covers some 1500 years or 2000 years, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, there is also the danger of the sound values changing over time. So, have you tried to take everything approximately in the same era, or is it spread all over? Have you tried to classify it by era?
Yeah, the major symbol that I have shown, they are consistent from past 4,000 years. For example, Ma, Sha, Na. These are the symbol I have seen. They are not changed at all. Even the writing design has changed, but their voice value did not change. For example, if you see Sha, they were representing crop for Shah, then that changed to cuneiform, and the symbol changed little bit, but voice value did not change. A lot of symbols has same voice value, but yes, you may be correct. There may be some symbol because there are still a lot of symbol other than these symbols that I talked about. There may be some cases also. You may be correct, but most of the symbol that I have got and I started with, they change in writing, but their voice value never changed. But definitely you may be correct for some symbol. There may be some cases because every year everything, some of the things changes. That's quite possible.
The other thing is, I mean, can you derive Brahmi from Harappan? That is the question. Final question. I
Some
believe.
of the symbol those exist in Indus are there in Brahmi also. For example, the Ma sign is still there. The fish sign is still in Brahmi, and its was value is also Ma. And Ka sign is also in Brahmi, and Ka sign is also in Indus, but angle is little bit different. Writing angle is little bit different, but there are two vertical line crossing each other. That is Ka in Brahmi. That is also Ka in Indus.